As an extrovert, I actually spent a lot of 2023 alone. From going through a breakup to taking a gap year to living alone again, I found myself in my headphones keeping me company on commutes, at museums, at the library, when I went back to school, at cafes, when I was studying, when I'm being a homebody, and I was the most alone when I was having my main character moment solo traveling in Europe. As an extrovert, I love spending time alone, and I'm damn good at it. Whether you're an introvert, extrovert, ambivert, I have some tips and tricks for you. As someone who loves their community, who loves to yap and gossip with their friends and loved ones, I can tell you that being alone is an art form. It takes practice, and sometimes you're pushing up a suitcase on a rainy day on a hill by yourself, and it sucks and you feel lonely. But then other days you feel like skipping through a meadow, perusing for your favorite novels at a bookstore, contemplating life's biggest questions on a train ride, and this is the art of being alone, as told by Lynn in Europe.
Hello everyone, we are in Zurich, Switzerland. I'm only here for a day, and today's gonna be my down day. I have shit to do. I have work to do. I have so many videos to edit, obviously, but also, you know, I'm returning to school next year for my senior year, and I haven't figured out what classes I'm gonna take, so I need to go do that. I also just finally finished my taxes. You know, I was looking into hiring an accountant year-round, and then they sent me the quote for how much it would cost per month, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is how much it would cost me to get therapy. And honestly, I've never related to Evelyn from Everything Everywhere All at Once more than in this moment, where what's gonna better my mental health overall? Therapy or hiring someone to do my taxes? The Airbnb I'm staying at currently, really cozy and comfy, and it's actually above this bar, has live music every single night. So last night there were two very talented accordion players, and they went until midnight just singing classic Swiss songs. The person who was working the bar last night, Ingrid, was so nice. She gave me a free shot on the house. She was also showing me all these photos of the cool celebrity patrons they've had at the bar. So they've had Green Day, Mumford and Sons. Anyways, I digress. That was definitely a tangent. I'm gonna go cafe hopping today. There's a lot of cute ones in the area, and I'm just going to find a place with Wi-Fi, good espresso, maybe some pastries.
This might sound a little bit contradictory, but I actually think that having a strong social support system is what makes you secure when you're physically by yourself. And when I was in Europe, I had a lot of moments of like, wow, my mom would really like this. My best friend, I wish they were here to experience this with me. Having those people on speed dial and just being able to spontaneously call them, FaceTime them, it helped me see my travels and my time alone in a different light. And plus, they gave me all the hot pipe and tea on the news back home. Good morning, we're in Milan. This might be the sociology degree coming out, but I love people watching. Like, look at this sweet elderly couple taking their morning walk. When you're by yourself, you can really focus on your environment and the people around you, and you tend to observe and notice things that you might have not picked up on before. Milan is the fashion capital of the world, so of course I had to head down towards the fashion districts and look at some of the luxury stores. Even though I'm literally there to shop, I was reevaluating the relationship I have with objects and things and fashion pieces, and I ended up putting most things back. I think our ideas of spending alone time, having a self-care day, has to some extent developed a relationship with consumption and consumerism. Do not get me wrong, I love treating myself, but going on a shopping spree to fill a void is very different from making thoughtful purchases. Because of how I grew up and the way I was raised, when I finally had that big boy money, I found it really hard to tell myself no. Because let's be honest, do you really need another trinket? And showing that restraint actually demonstrates how you understand yourself, what you like, and your personal style. And to make sure that our communities and Earth don't end up like the plot of WALL-E.
Hey yo, they got the blocks from WALL-E.
Editing Lynn here. One of my most frequently asked questions on my videos is, how do you color grade? How do you color grade? Let me tell you something. I don't even know. I don't know. I'm still learning. I'm still trying to figure it out. I have been doing this YouTube thing for over 6 years by now. The fact that I still have so much room to grow, it's exciting. And something that has spurred on my excitement and my growth is today's sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare is the largest online learning community, and it connects you with instructors and other creative folks from across the world. And 2024 is the year to reignite your passion for that hobby and perhaps turn that hobby or side hustle into your full-time career. Personally, I want to relearn my color grading basics and also build upon my technical knowledge, which I don't have a ton of. So I've been taking this learning path by Don Leo. She's an amazing instructor. The learning path is called Color Grading for Filmmaking, Division, Art, and Science. Fleshed out my understanding of video editing software and learning technical aspects like color curves, which I was always too scared to use. So if you'd like, the first 500 people who click the link in my description box can get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Thank you so much to Skillshare for always and continuously supporting my storytelling and creative journey. And without further ado, Editing Lynn is out. Peace. Bye.
Hey everyone, we are now in Florence, Italy, which is a little bit south of Milan. 2 hour of a train ride, and it's so pretty here, y'all. The weather's hella beautiful, and I think that no matter where I am, as long as the weather is nice, I'm gonna like it. So, long story short, I got into Florence around 12 yesterday. Got a really late lunch, but then they served me so much white wine. I swear, Italians pour with a heavy hand. They don't skimp on you, okay? For 6 euros, that was like plenty of white wine. And I'm not a lightweight or anything. I drank all the white wine because I didn't want to waste it, and I also had an espresso, and I think that combination kind of just knocked me out because I went back to my Airbnb around 3:30 to take a nap, and then I didn't wake up until 6 a.m. the next day. So I had a really early morning. I caught the sunrise. It was very pretty. I also FaceTime my friends from home. One of them's in Australia for study abroad right now. The other one is from DC, and I caught up with them, and that was very nice, rejuvenating. And since today is Sunday, a lot of the local places are closed or they don't open till later, so I got coffee at this smaller shop in central Florence. And I think today, I don't really have any plans. Tomorrow, I'm gonna try to go on a wine tour in Tuscany, so I'm gonna look online and try to book one. I just got my Sunday best on today. Here's today's fit check. I really wanted to wear this tie, but when I tried to tie it normally, it kind of looked weird. But I decided to tie it more feminine so it looks like a ribbon, kind of like how those 90s dresses, you often saw like a really long scarf tied around the neck. I have the tie tucked in underneath the blazer, and I think that looks really cute. Like, no? Like, does it not? Like pigeons, no matter where you go in the world, there's a good chance you'll find a bookstore. And while there are unique things that could set apart a bookstore from another, its charm, what type of books it sells, at its essence, at its core, bookstores are familiar. And I think it's very comforting that if you're exploring a new place or you're in a city that you know inside and out, going to those safe spaces is a really great way to, I guess, ground yourself. For me, bookstores are very much a liminal space. Even though I don't speak Italian, it's comforting to see the sociology section. When I was in France, I was so happy when I came across a manga anime store. And I guess for me, some of the best kept company is found with books. felt alone or lonely during my trip in Europe. As I was perusing the streets of Florence here, I had my headphones on and music kept me company. But as I was entering this building's grounds and perusing this art exhibit, I actually met two girls. They were reviewers and they were also college students. And the rest of the story was sort of like a beautiful coincidence, like fate. One of them actually went to school in DC with me, and they also had interned at the same place as me, which is crazy. And they were actually studying abroad for the semester, and they were visiting Italy during their spring break. So they invited me to go get gelato with them, and then I ended up spending the rest of the day with them. They were so welcoming and kind. They introduced me to the rest of their friends that they were traveling with, and I had missed being around my big group of friends at home, and I didn't realize that I needed that type of energy and environment until I spent that afternoon and night with them. I just think about the statistics all the time. What were the chances that I would meet another Asian college student, Gen Z person traveling in Europe? It was one of those moments that was so wholesome and it felt straight out of a movie. And if you're watching this, thank you so much for letting me tag along, and I hope y'all are all doing well. Congratulations to the people that have graduated. I'm looking forward to when we'll meet again.
We are riding, imagine we are riding on the roads.
As we already know from me passing out from that one glass of wine, I'm not the biggest wine connoisseur. This might be surprising, but I'm actually more of a beer girly. But I do have a little mini passion for agriculture and how food is made and brought to the table. So I decided taking a day trip out to Tuscany to Casa Emma was actually a great way for me to try something new. We also got to try the olive oil and balsamic vinegar. We had it with fresh bread and cheese and meats and other toppings. And if there was one moment in all of my travels where I felt the most aware of my aloneness, it was at this wine tasting, because most people were couples or family members. Traveling made me more comfortable with doing typically partner activities or big group activities by myself. I mean, unless you're going like swing dancing, there is nothing that you can't experience on your own. Though I did wish that someone was there to listen to all my pop culture jokes.
Straight out of Stardew.
When you're trying out a new hobby or an interest, it's kind of like the difference between going to a museum by yourself versus with other people. You get to go at your own pace and take your time at certain paintings that you really like. And while I love going with friends, sometimes I feel rushed. And even though wine is not necessarily my thing, I finished every single glass that they poured for me. And I got to focus on learning about how you get wine from being a grape to being bottled. My last leg of my Europe trip, I actually visited my friend Lincoln, who was staying abroad in Prague, and he brought me all around the city from Old Town to New Town. In terms of food, the architecture, the silly goofy moments, Czech Republic is definitely in my top 3. I realized when I was solo traveling, I spent a ton of time scrolling on social media, and with Lincoln, it was the first time I was kind of taking a break, putting down the camera, and as cheesy as it sounds, focusing on being in the moment. And I think 8 tips is the perfect lucky number to end on. But if there's one thing I want you to take away from this video, is that nurturing your relationships is not mutually exclusive with becoming better at being alone.
Look at me.
Thank you y'all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know that navigating your 20s and learning how to adult, especially in the post-grad period, trust me, because I'm going through it, it's difficult, it's hard, it can feel incredibly isolating and lonely. Learning where to draw your support from, who you can rely on, how to be comfortable with being by yourself. It's all easier said than done, but let me tell you, putting in the work for the people you love, for yourself, for your family, it's definitely all worth it. And this is a special shout out and thank you to all my friends, family, and loved ones who believed in me even when I did not believe in myself. Thank you. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.
Jump to the next one.
I can't with the skirt.
Yes, you can.
Look at me. I'm as helpless as a kitten.